Alright, so let's go. Alright guys, hello, welcome to the stream. So today we're going to be doing some ethical hacking, and we are going to do ethical hacking on a specific target. This target's going to be, here let me show you guys. So let's just start up Firefox, which is just a web browser, and we're going to just post in the URL. So this is going to be the main, this is not the main page, but this is the main page. So this is a vulnerable website that my teacher created, and our assignment is to just penetrate test it. So let's just take that URL, because we can do many things with the URL, such as get the IP address and whatnot. So let's go ahead and do a command. Let's just clear the screen. So we can do the whois command, and you can just paste the URL afterwards. And unfortunately it doesn't get anything, so it doesn't get any IP address or any information, so we can keep moving on. So we can do the dig command, for instance. So the dig command is going to actually get a response here. So we're going to get the domain that we put in right here, which is the target, and we're going to get an IP address, which is 92.242.140.21. Alright, so we can keep running more commands just to make sure we get the right one. So let me just see which ones we can use. So we can also use the nslookup command. And the nslookup command is also going to give us the same exact IP address that we just received. So this does look like it is the right IP address. However, we can run the whatweb command also to get more information, and the whatweb command gives us way more information. So this is going to be the domain, this is going to be the HTTP server, this is going to be the location, and Debian Linux is also, I know Apache is a HTTP web server, or HTTP server. We also get information that it's powered by WordPress. So this is a WordPress website. Okay, so we get more information from whatweb. We can also run the Harvester. The Harvester, I already have it typed because I was doing this earlier, but this is the flags -d, and this is going to be the domain. -l is just going to be the amount of queries that you want. So if you're going to do like 500 queries on Google, you'll do 500. If you want to do 1,000, you'll do 1,000. And then /b is going to be the search engine. So Google, Bing, I forget what else it supports. I think it supports Shodan too. So we're going to run that. So yeah, so whatweb told us the HTTP server that we have is Apache. The operating system that the server is running on is Debian Linux. Our teacher made it so that this was actually a Cloudflare. So every traffic going to the website was being proxied by Cloudflare. Pretty much Cloudflare is just a CDN, and also offers a service to optimize and secure websites. So everybody who's going into the WordPress or the target domain is going to be reverse proxied. And what reverse proxied means is that when you're going to the website, you don't know the final destination. Like, such as if you're going into YouTube, you can probably, if you're in Indonesia, you're going to get the Indonesia version of YouTube. If you're in Russia, you're going to get the Russian version of YouTube. It's a reverse proxy, so based on some specifics, you're going to be navigated to a different server. So that's what Cloudflare does, and it's really good because it masks the private IP address of this website. So, however, with whatweb, it would actually pop up Cloudflare, but we're actually getting the real IP address, the private IP address. How do I know that's the real IP address? Is because I was already doing this, so I know that's the real IP address. However, if it did say Cloudflare right here, I would have definitely done some more digging into the target. So let's just pretend it says Cloudflare. If it did say Cloudflare, well then we would have to use Shodan, and our teacher told us to use Shodan to get the real IP. Before I go into Shodan though, these are the emails that I get, and because WordPress is a WordPress website takes a username and email, we can also use these emails to actually get into the website. Let's go ahead and just show you guys Shodan. So we can just say Firefox again, and we can do Shodan.io. So all this, guys, is the enumeration phase of the penetration test. It's pretty much to get as much information about our target as possible. Let's just get rid of that exploiting WordPress route. Okay, so this does check out, and as you see, this is the private IP address, or the real IP address. City is Paris, country is France. Okay. It also says the vulnerabilities and the CVE IDs. So this is actually showing the vulnerabilities of the website, which we can do proof of concept on and exploit them. And it actually tells us the ports that are open. So we're gonna do port scans with nmap. However, Shodan.io I think already tells us the port scans that are open. So that's really useful. Does that really quick too. What Shodan is pretty much, you know, your traditional Google, Bing, and all these other search engines. They crawl. They use like software to crawl the World Wide Web. However, Shodan doesn't do that. It more like scans the internet and the devices and everything inside that is connected to the internet. So you'll get a lot of information on like the operating system. Let me just go look at my notes actually. So Shodan is a search engine that crawls the internet while Google and Bing crawl the World Wide Web. In essence, Shodan gives you information about devices that are connected to the internet. These devices can vary tremendously, such as small desktops, computer labs. So yeah, it just pretty much grabs. So Shodan collects information from banners. So it banner grabs, and from those banners, it has metadata that you can get on the software that is running on a device. So that's how Shodan.io, I guess, gets a lot of its information. And all of it is public, you know? It's not like it's doing anything illegal. Alright, so verifying the IP address. So our teacher told us to verify the IP address. So for instance, since we got with Shodan.io, we pretty much got this this IP right here, 163 blah blah blah, you know. Got that IP address. Now we have to verify it, and the way our teacher told us to verify it is to go into /etc. Believe is host.deny. No, that's not it. It's just host. So let's just open that up with Vim or something. Right, so this is it. So this was like a text file, I guess. It doesn't have the text extension though, so I was really confused. However, he told us to put in the IP address along with the domain. So that's what I did. And after you do that, you can do a ping scan. So let's just clear, since I know maybe you guys can't see the code on the stream. Hey, Difa says, you're doing a super great job, such a pro. I'm far from it, baby, but thank you. So, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a ping scan. So we can do ping class 01.pentest.id. And as you see, we're getting a ping test, getting a reply. So it's pinging back to us. And you can see the IP address right here. However, when we do a ping scan, let's say on Windows, let's get that domain in there, minus that exploding WordPress route. Huh, cannot find it. That's funny. Didn't find the host. It was working earlier. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Let's try it like this. Okay, so now we're getting replies. However, this is from a different IP address. So you can see this is probably the IP address that is masked or from a Cloudflare web server. So that proves that this is the masked IP. However, in our Kali Linux, since we put the IP and the domain inside of the host file, this means that it is the right IP address. Okay, so we have verified the IP address. So that's good. So now we can actually do scans on these IP address. However, to do scans, we want to stay anonymous. So what you guys want to do is do sudo apt install tor, so you guys can get the tor service. And actually, you guys might have to configure proxy chains. To be honest, since this is a school prod or school assignment, I don't think I have to stay anonymous because it's not really, I'm not really doing the real thing, or I'm not really gonna get in trouble. So I would probably skip this part, but I'm doing it maybe just for extra points for my professor. So I would start the service. I'd probably have to do sudo. Okay, so now when we do sudo service tor status, it's going to be saying that it's up and running, it's active. So now we can do proxy chains, which you have to do configuring with proxy chains, and it's kind of like a tutorial that I can do another time. And we're going to do nmap scans. So nmap scans, it's just going to be taking a lot of time actually. So I'm not going to actually run them, but I'm going to show you the commands. So we're going to do sn-sn, and this is pretty much similar to a ping scan. So a ping scan is going to tell us how many hosts are up and running, so how many devices are inside the infrastructure of the website. And my results, what I got, if you guys can see, we got nmap done, one IP address, one host up, so that's what happened. Okay, so ping scan is done. Now we want to do a port scan, and these guys take forever. So the way you want to do a port scan is you don't want to scan everything. Honestly, I would just do a service scan, because that actually gives you the ports as well. So I would do nmap -vv-dd and then the IP address. So that's going to be a service scan, and what I got from that scan were these results. So it told us the ports that were open, the state, the service, and the reason. Synac just means that we got the communication, we got the three-way handshake pretty much from the server. And you can read about the three-way handshake. What it means that we got information from the server pretty much, and also the port scan types, you can also read about it too. And these are the services. RPC bind is just pretty much a communication model for the client and the server. HTTPS is a transport protocol for communication with the client and the website. MySQL service is for the database. And now we're moving on to wpscan. So wpscan is actually a WordPress security scanner. So this WordPress security scanner is supposed to expose vulnerabilities of WordPress websites. So we're gonna actually run a WordPress scan of just the target. So we do that, and it's gonna take quite a while. Actually, these scans actually really do take a while. So I think I'll just show you guys what I got. So doing just the WP scan and just the target URL, you'll get the headers. You'll get also some other routes. To be honest, I don't know too much about what these are supposed to represent. But they do tell us the versions. They're supposed to tell us the plugins and the themes that are used within the WordPress website. However, I believe since this is such a basic WordPress website, there's not a lot of plugins that we can actually exploit, since none of the plugins probably have user information. But I believe these have some vulnerabilities that you can dig into. It just tells us here, this is where all the assets will go of the website. We could probably go to this actual route here. Let's try it. Yep, so we can actually get into the assets. Yep, and that was there actually earlier. This was the, if we can see over here, we can see the pictures that our professor used. Oh, there were pictures here. Maybe my professor got rid of it. But it was about the Merapi volcano. Alright, so that's not important. So moving onwards, we're gonna go ahead and do the WP scan of, let's see. Alright, so we're gonna do proxy chains WP scan. Then we're also gonna provide or we're gonna try to find the users, the user within the website. So I have this command written down. I came prepared for this presentation, so don't expect to remember everything. I would write things down, make sure everything's documented. So this command right here is gonna give you the actual users. So -EU and then VP, I believe. Okay, maybe not VP. Oh, okay, just VP by itself, without a dash. So we'll let that run real quick. We can also play some music. Okay. So we're almost done. So after the scanning, the WordPress scanning, we're gonna have to try to find, now that we got the users, that pretty soon we will, we're gonna have to find or try to brute force the password. So brute forcing the password is actually the hardest part, and I honestly haven't got the password yet. Maybe we can get it live on stream, but it just takes too long, and I've tried maybe 12 scans already. Each scan is 8 minutes, so I've been scanning for around 2 hours. Okay, so as you guys see, it says users identified. We got the admin, which comes by default for when you make a WordPress website. from experience, I've made a WordPress website, so I know admin always comes. And webmaster pen test is probably a user that has super privileges or permissions of an admin. So we can actually put these users inside of a text file. So if I remember, in user, okay, so user/share/word list, I actually did make a text file with the users. And then if you want to actually look at it, you can just cat it real quick. So as you can see, I would put these admin and webmaster into a text file. So simultaneously, wpscan can look for the passwords for these users simultaneously. So yeah, I would do that. And then you're probably thinking, well, how do I get the list of passwords to dictionary attack? Well, there's a default dictionary list of passwords in Kali Linux. It's called rockyou.txt. Pretty much, I believe it was like a Facebook service that got hacked or got breached, and I believe like 30 million users' passwords just got into the, to the world, just got exposed. So all of these hackers put it into a text file, and rockyou.txt is literally super big. Let me show you guys. If I open a text file, you can see it was taking a while to even load. But yeah, I can just keep going up and up and up, and it's like it never ends. It's a whole ton of passwords that were hacked or exposed. So yeah, if you were to do a dictionary attack with this rockyou.txt, it would probably take a really long time, because it would have to go through every single password, and it's just not gonna be good. Gus Bus says, make a bot that says sheesh every time someone comments on your stream. Maybe, man. The Valorant memes. I think it would be very, very annoying by like 2 weeks, Gus. Just like your Discord. JK. But all these passwords is gonna be used, and you guys it's probably gonna take a long time. It's like 8 hours. Somebody said on my group chat, and you don't want that. So let's go ahead and quit out of this. So what we want to do is make our own customized dictionary of passwords, and we can do this with Cool. So if you can look at Cool Help, pretty much what it is, it's I believe a Ruby application. Let me see, because I got my notes. It's good to show you guys my notes. Oh, I don't think I even wrote about Cool. Let's see. Oh no, I didn't. That's a shame. Alright, so Cool is pretty much a tool used. It's a Ruby application to make your own customized dictionary of passwords, and it's got a lot of features. So as you can see, you can set a depth, the spider to, the minimum password length. So most websites say, the minimum has to be at least 8 characters, so you can set that like a minimum, so you don't have to waste a lot of other words. You can also do emails, authentication and proxy support also, and then you just put in the URL of the site, the spider. So we're gonna just go ahead and do it right here. So Cool, let's go into sudo su. This is pretty much root mode, and I was doing a lot of these commands on this. So alright, so let's just let's dissect this, okay? So pretty much we run the Cool command, right? And -w means to write, so we're gonna write to a file. That's why you need to be in root mode, because Cool needs permission to write into your directory. So I would go into root mode. It's just sudo su, and then you just go into or you just specify what file you want it to be named. So I already have a doclist2, so let me do a doclist3, and then the depth I set to 5. Not too sure the specifics about depth, to be honest, but I said it's the default is 2, so I just like go higher than that. The minimum length of a password for WordPress, I have no idea. I could probably look it up, but I just put it to 6. And then I put the URL, and then with numbers means that the passwords can contain numbers inside of the list. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and it's gonna take a little bit of time to actually create the dictionary. Just give it some time. By the way, guys, running on no sleep. It's been, I think, this is probably the longest time I've stayed up in a while, maybe in like 3 months. At least it has been 25 hours. Right, so our cool isn't running for some reason. As you can see, it made the file, but I believe since I stopped it, it's not going to write to it. So let's just cat it. Oh no, it actually made it. So we got a dictionary. We got a dictionary of passwords, which is good. So we can try this out for our brute force dictionary attack. Obviously, it didn't get all the words that it was going to generate because it stopped it prematurely, but it's okay. I mean, I've tried this a million times and it hasn't worked, so I don't expect much. So now what we do is that we would do the the WP scan. So we do proxy chains, of course, to stay anonymous. Now we do the URL, which is -- URL. We put in the URL. Now capital U is going to be the users.txt, so just put in the directory of the users.txt. Since I'm in the word list directory by default, I could just do users.txt, but let's just actually get out of that directory. Oh yeah. Wish we could just delete everything. Alright, so yep, this is my home. Okay, so yeah, we covered the -u. Now the -p is the path of the password dictionary. So now we're gonna go ahead and put doc. What was it? Doc? Oh, we forgot. We're running on no sleep, so. CD word list, doc list 3. Yep, that's it. Doc list 3.txt, and now it's gonna run the brute force attack. So now it's gonna run the brute force attack, guys, and this is the final step. If it doesn't get it, well, I've tried everything, so that's gonna be for the video or for the stream. Let's go ahead and put on some music though. Okay, so we're just gonna let it run. Okay guys, so our scan says no valid passwords found. Unfortunate, but I mean, I've been seeing that the whole day today. No matter how many lists I do, no matter what depth or minimum, I've tried 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I just get nothing. And then I also have when I do the list, I have the with numbers flag, and that should make the list with, you know, the valid numbers. It was a hint that the professor gave us, but still didn't get it. So I don't know, it could be my fault that I didn't get. Hold on, sorry professor, if that song was distracting, but I couldn't get the password. But hopefully this demonstration video was good enough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you'll have a great day.